This is really...
And it's recording. Yeah, there we go. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm ready, sorry.
Yeah, here we go. Right. Welcome to episode 6. A week late, but that couldn't be helped because of personal injury and other problems that were going on. So,
with you, don't look at
me. Yeah, sorry.
I'm
problem-free. She was fine. I was all messed up.
Who went in the bag last time?
I don't remember. So, scissors, paper, rock?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. I get to go first. Right. I'm not looking in the bag. Right. What we got here? Ring 2.
One that I can remember, but not really, so you're going to be talking a lot about this
right.
one.
Well, Ring 2. We've already done Ring.
Yes.
Or Ringu. Ring 2 is basically a carry-on from the first film.
Yes.
But very much condensed.
Doesn't it follow the man, the ex-husband, the teacher from the first film, his little student girlfriend?
Yes, his
She's
girlfriend.
the main character in this one.
Yes, she's the main protagonist in this one.
That's what I mean.
In the first film, she had a very, very small role.
Very small.
Very
She's in it
small
for like
role.
2
She's in it
seconds.
for like 2 seconds. And in this film, she's like in the whole film. And basically, it's trying to track down what really happened. It's an odd film, this movie, because it was made in a hurry.
Yes, I remember it came across as quite rushed,
Yeah.
which was why it was quite forgettable for me.
Exactly, and I think it was forgettable for a lot of people.
Yeah. But it had a good cast in it, because the actress, the main one that we were just talking about, we've seen her in a lot of things, and she's a really good actress.
She's a good actress.
But, yeah.
Yeah, very, very odd film. Again, they rushed to get it out because Ringu was so popular, they busted their ass to try and get a sequel out to try and
capitalize on that success.
The deal. So it's very interesting, and basically it's following up on what had happened in the first film. It is still worth a watch. It is still quite entertaining, just not as good and not as original as the first film.
If I could remember it, I'm sure I'd recommend it. I just can't remember it.
I remember a scene by a swimming pool, and
Didn't they have like an exorcist or a medium or something?
Yeah.
They were trying to like entice the ring girl out.
Yeah.
Like idiots, and it went spectacularly wrong, obviously.
Basically.
But yeah, I don't remember. I just remember her going down in a well at some point and finding like the ghost. It was very forgettable for me. But then again, I saw it years ago.
Again, it was a real rushed job. It is still entertaining. It is still worth a watch. Just not as fantastic as the first one.
No.
But
it wouldn't be really, would it?
I mean, obviously good enough that I bought it.
Yeah.
On it, but
I have to watch it again and refamiliarize.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good, and I think I was disappointed that it didn't have the woman from the first one in it. She's in it very, very briefly.
I really can't remember.
But
I read the back there. I thought it said "will freeze your mind," but it says "will freeze your blood."
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't remember it.
And obviously froze my mind a little bit because I can't remember much about it. But there you go. That's the first choice tonight. Ringu 2, which is good, but not so fantastically great that we can really remember the plot.
No, sorry, we're not very helpful on that one.
So, but again, I do know it was rushed out to the cinemas because of the success. So, moving on to the next one. And I'm going to have a coffee while you delve
You just
into
move your
bag.
foot just ever so
Sorry,
slightly.
Foot's in the way.
Well, I'm trying
Big
not to
foot.
look in the bag.
What's that one? Ah.
We haven't talked about this one already, have we?
No, we did, but it was our aborted.
We pulled it out and I looked at it and I thought, no, we've done this one already. You've been putting it back in the bag, haven't you?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, this was an aborted attempt.
When our camera went.
Fail episode.
Yeah, epic fail.
Yes. Reincarnation is what I just put if you can't see it on the new high definition camera. Which is a Japanese horror film that I always lump together with Infection and Premonition.
Because we saw them about the same time.
I guess so, but they're all quite, not similar in premise, but they feel quite similar in a type of film.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It was. They all came out when J-horror was going through its huge success with the world. And I want to say that was Reincarnation was by Takeshi Shimizu, was it not?
Yes.
Yes.
It's from the creators of the Ring trilogy, The Grudge and Dark Water.
It was actually directed by Takeshi Shinzo.
Yeah, it just says from the creators of.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the back. I don't know. I couldn't even remember. All I know is that it's basically centered around, well, I guess the premise of reincarnation.
Yeah, the plot in a nutshell is we follow this young girl who's an actress, and she's just starting out in the business, and she's going to an audition, and it's basically a cattle call. And for those who don't know, a cattle call is where they get about 9 million people that all look roughly the same to read for different parts.
Yeah.
She gets a call, and she gets the job. And what the job is, it's a documentary about a famous murder, or murders, that actually took place in this hotel 10 years previously, 20 years previously.
Yeah, I thought it was like it happened in like the 70s or something.
It was a long time ago that it happened, and basically this guy kind of went through and murdered everybody in a hotel.
So what they're doing is they're making this
documentary.
horror movie. No, it's a horror movie based on the events that happened in this hotel, and being the wise people that they are, they decide to actually film it in the hotel that it took place. It's now obviously derelict.
Yeah.
But it seems you learn very early on, it's not really a twist per se, the real twist comes at the end.
Yeah.
You learn very early on that all of the cast members are reincarnations of the people that actually, went through this thing. But they're all different.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, it's genius.
It is, it's really good. And the other thing I liked about it, which I thought brought a touch of realism to the casting, was the girl that's cast as the little girl victim, they've actually made much older.
Yeah, she's like early 20s.
Yeah, and in the original murder, I should say the original film, the original murder, she's actually very, very young, but they decided to make her older so the audiences would not feel quite so repulsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was a splendid film.
It is, because alongside the horror, like as the film progresses, it kind of gets towards the end, it turns into more of a mystery thriller, because I guess people only know so much about what happened on that day of the murders, whereas now they're all being reincarnated, they sort of relive it, and some new elements come to light.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing when you find out who these people actually were the first time.
There's a huge twist at the end, and it's really good and quite satisfying actually, in a really bizarre way.
Bizarre sort of way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic film, and yeah, we did watch this roughly about the same time as we watched Infection and Premonition, and it is really fantastic film. You really need to watch it. It's good. Yes. Right, next film.
Next. Throw the bags down there.
Yeah, the bag's in the bottom. I don't feel like reaching down and picking it up. Right. This one.
Yes!
Cursed.
One of my personal favourites.
Love this film. Cursed.
This was a rental. This was a Blockbuster rental.
Blockbuster, yeah.
And it was one of those movies that we started watching it, and then you put it in, and you're thinking, what on earth is this? And then about 3/4 of the way through you go, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, never seen anything like it before. It borders on like black comedy and bizarreness, and yet it has moments in it that are genuinely creepy.
Scary as hell, yeah.
Like, when I had a little bit of a like freaky nightmare, sudden scare the other night, and one of the images I saw in my head was from Cursed, believe it or not.
This is a very odd film.
Esoteric.
I recommended this to somebody at work, and they came back the next day and said, it's a little strange for my taste, a little too weird. But it's a great film, and basically it centers around this shop, like a 7-Eleven, mom and pop store, Londis if you're in this country, that's not doing very well, and the company is thinking about taking them over and bringing them into their chain of stores.
That's it. So they send a woman there to do inventory.
Yeah. And you meet the couple that are running the shop, and they are so weird. Very, very odd and strange.
But there's something weird going on with the shop too.
As well. Yeah. And it's...
we're both wanting to get on a rant about it.
Yeah. It's The only normal people that work there are a young couple of kids that come in to work day shift.
Yeah.
One's a young man who seems very, very nice. The other one's a young girl who seems quite nice.
Yeah.
But the owner and his wife are just weird, really strange. And you realize that something funny is going on with the shop when she's doing the inventory, and she finds there's things in the back shelf. And
she finds like noodles that are like years old.
Yeah, you know,
she's
like
you realise this went
old.
out like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But like, how are you still in business? But what's really brilliant, I think, about the whole thing is the characters in it aren't just the living people.
No.
There's like a dude that keeps coming in, and he wears a parka that has sort of a furry trim around the hood.
Yeah.
And he has this hood so far over his face you can't see it. It's just
face.
black in there. And he seems to have this, he seems to stalk people.
Yeah.
The village is full, I mean, and they keep like turning up at this place, don't they? Like really weird people. But occasionally when normal people show up, it can be really dangerous, because if your purchase,
I was just going to say that,
like tallies up to 999 or 666, then something bad will happen to you.
Very bad.
And but it's never really answered, is it? You
No.
never really know why this shop is so freaking weird.
Because other people walk in and buy things, and they're
fine.
Yeah, but if your purchase tally comes up to 666 or 999, you're doomed. Yeah, you're basically screwed.
And it's scary. The stuff that happens to these people is really scary, but it's so bizarre.
And you don't.
It's the wind.
Whoa,
It's
man,
scary.
it's like trying to blow the house away. You give me. Sorry,
Just
that
like,
really threw me.
whoa.
You never get to see anything really horrifically gory either.
No, it's all like.
There's one bit which I have to mention because it is spectacular. This guy goes in to buy something and it works out to 999 yen or whatever it is.
Oh, is this?
And
Get my ball back.
yeah, he's walking back, and this ball comes out of this dark doorway, and it bounces out. And you hear this little boy's voice going, "Would you bring me my ball, please?" And he's like,
Yeah, sure.
okay, sure." And he takes it and he walks in, and he's walking further and further in, and it's getting darker and darker and darker, and all of a
Until
sudden,
it just is pitch
pitch black.
and he just walks into it, and like the blackness envelops him. And then about 2 seconds later, the shot cuts back to the alleyway, the entrance, and this ball starts bouncing out again. And you hear this little girl go, "Oh boy,
well,
can you bring my ball back?" It's like, it's really scary.
Yeah.
It's not gory at all, but it's all very suggestive.
Very scary,
and it's what you don't see. Oh, the eyes in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
This just, it's really weird.
Really strange film. And it's,
and quite
I can't
low budget.
recommend. Yeah, it is very low budget. Probably made straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Or video, I guess, when this came out. It is so worth a look.
If you love weird Japanese horror films, this is perfect.
Perfect. I mean, this is along the lines of Uzumaki and other really random films that came out about the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a look.
That's a favourite of mine.
Yeah, I just love and adore this film. Right, so our three choices this week were, let you carry that one, let you hold that one, was
Ring 2,
Ringu 2, Reincarnation, and Cursed. These two, most definitely
a watch.
But
they're very different
films.
For all intents and purposes, this one is a lot more like serious.
Yeah.
This is low budget, weird, quirky,
strange.
But I'd say they're both just kind of inventive and original as each other.
The main difference I could say is this one's scary. You'll really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Great, brilliant twist to the plot. That can give you nightmares.
But in the most bizarre way.
Freaky way possible. And this again, Ring 2. It's definitely worth a look just to see what they did with the second one.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a like if you really love The Ring.
Yeah.
If you really love, if you're like us, like when we saw The Grudge, we had to see all the
Grudges,
sort of forms.
Yeah.
If you're a real big fan of The Ring series, then
you'll
just
definitely
see
enjoy
two.
this.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. But not quite the same league as those two.
No, definitely not. But there you go. That's our choice for this week. And we will see you next week. Barring any further personal injury. So, like I always say, until next time, keep watching the films and have fun. Bye.
Bye.
That went really smooth.